Hi, everyone. I am Suzanne Freitas Tuberca, and I am the CEO and founder of the Soft Landing Society. And I am here to talk about self esteem, beauty, and partner abuse. And this is going to be kind of hard for me because it's about my face. So today, the reason I am doing a video is because my face is really swollen. And you may not have noticed it, but I usually have hair in front of my face, but this side of my face is really swollen. And I normally wouldn't do a video with my hair back when my face is really swollen. I had oral cancer, and I have a whole bunch of scars on my face, which is not really where you want them. And my ex was always really abusive about how I looked. I was never beautiful. I was never pretty. I was always there, like, I looked nice. You look nice. You look fine, except for right there. It was subtle for a really long time. And most emotional abuse is so subtle that you just don't know it. That's why it's really, really hard to notice it, to acknowledge it, to see it. And that's why I'm doing these videos, is because emotional abuse is dangerous. Emotional abuse is what leads to physical abuse. And emotional abuse over the years just crushes your soul. So we're going to talk about my soul being crushed. And so I had oral cancer 5 years ago, and I contracted a lung infection at the hospital, and so I was in a coma for 6 weeks. And as I mentioned, my husband's emotional abuse about my beauty was very much focused on me not really having any, and that I needed to not wear makeup, which I love, and I needed to not try so hard. And over the years, I just sort of lost, like, I stopped wearing lipstick, I stopped, you sort of lose a lot of yourself over the years. And I felt that I was fine. Okay, maybe, you know, but he's a narcissistic abuser. And the thing about narcissists is that when you go down for the count, they're pissed. And I was in a coma for 6 weeks. That means he had to show up at the hospital and pretend like he was paying attention while he sat in the cafeteria for 6 weeks. Did not hold my hand. We're not going to get into that. But I woke up finally on my own, and the first thing he said to me was, "Well, you look better because you lost some weight." And that was it. That was the first thing he said to me. And comas involve a lot of nightmares. Comas involve a lot of disassociation and not knowing what's happening. And that was, well, it was grounding. I'll give it that. And then instead of picking on the little things, like, you have a gray hair right there, or, ooh, I don't like the way that haircut looks, or, oh, I'm not sure that, those shoes, you're walking kind of funny. Instead of those little things, we really ramped it right up to it being about, like, really attacking my beauty, my self-image, my everything. So it was a lot of pointing out all the scars. I have a bed sore scar on my face, pointed out constantly. All the other scarring, everything. So by the time I was well enough to leave him, which took 3 years, um, I thought I kind of looked like Frankenstein's monster. I thought that all anyone could see when they looked at me was just a patchwork of just yuck, right? Just a bunch of scars and gnarly tissue and ugh. And that was really, really hard on me. And really, really hard. I thought I was probably going to scare children. And so we left, and I am always pretty upbeat. So I figured, well, nobody's like saying anything out in the world because I'd been pretty much trapped at home in bed rest, recovering. I was still recovering when I left, but I was able to physically leave. So I did. Um, and so I had this just really very, very troubling sense of what I looked like. And of course, your friends tell you you're beautiful, right? Like, nobody's gonna say you look, I mean, other than him, no one else is gonna say, oh, well, you look really sketchy, but we love you. So I didn't believe anyone. And the problem with emotional abuse is that over the years, I was with him for 24 years. That's a really long time. You really lose your sense of reality in a lot of ways. And so I moved really far away to a place where I didn't know anyone. And I didn't really make any friends in the first year because I was unpacking and crying and doing a lot of physical therapy and going to still a lot of doctor's appointments and just trying to get my feet on the ground, but still understanding that I looked like Frankenstein's monster. And I wanted to get a sense of what I really looked like to people and how bad it was. Like, how bad is this? I had no idea what I looked like no concept of what the reality was of what I looked like. All I saw were the scars, the swelling, all the issues. And it was wearing on me. It was really wearing on me. And I needed something to give me an idea of what in the heck I actually looked like. Because I didn't know. And I didn't trust my friends because they love me, which is amazing and fabulous, but not exactly like the most forthcoming if you look awful, right? And of course, my children love me, so they're not going to say you look hideous. And I thought, okay, it's not bad enough that people scream, right? So I know that I look okay to like interact with humans, like in the grocery store or whatever, right? But, and this might just sound so ridiculous, but it is absolutely true. And it is really, really hard to talk about. So I thought about it and I thought, okay, who are the people that are the most likely to tell me what I actually look like? I know, like, who doesn't know what they look like? You have a mirror, but when you have a mirror and you have a bunch of negativity in your head over a whole bunch of years, that mirror doesn't really work. You don't see that person in the mirror. And so I decided after thinking about it that the people that would be the most honest were guys I met on dating apps. I figured if like they would be like, ah, and I would know, right? Like I'm hideous. Okay, I get it. Like I'll go and like figure out how to interact with people because I was getting ready to start Soft Landing Society, and so I wanted to have an understanding of what I looked like, so I knew how to interact with people that didn't know me, that were in the business world, and since I knew that guys would be honest, right? Just because they have no skin in this game, right? So I went on my first date and I was so nervous and scared and horrified and wondering what in the world I was thinking. I looked like Frankenstein's monster. They're gonna, be horrified, and my face was even more swollen than it is now. And like they're just gonna look at me and be like, scars, swollen, Frankenstein, blah, and book it, right? Like just out. So I did that, and they didn't, and they were like, "You're really beautiful." I thought, well, all right, I'll kind of go with that momentarily. And, at least I didn't scare you. And I went on a few more dates and nobody ran away and no one screamed and no one was horrified. And I started to rethink what I looked like because I thought, okay, if perfect strangers aren't running away screaming and people that would for sure run away screaming if I looked hideous aren't running away screaming, maybe I'm not ugly. Maybe I'm pretty. Maybe my friends weren't lying. And it's not about validation from men. It's not about that at all. It's about that was who I found, that I felt that was the way I felt I'd get honesty. There's lots of other ways to figure out how to go about whatever process you're going to go about. Feel free, but it's my story, and that's what I did, and so I didn't really date that much, but I started talking to my friends, and I started going to back when you could go to the store, going to the Sephora and buying makeup and putting it on and getting clothes that, like, not new clothes, but finding clothes in my closet and putting stuff together again and changing the way I presented myself in a way that made me happy. I love makeup. I love lipstick. It makes me so happy. And the more I focused on making me happy, on making what I looked like for me, the more beautiful I thought I was. And that was crazy. It was crazy to think that I just needed a few random strangers to not run screaming and to have me be like, all right, clearly, I mean, I knew he was bad, I knew he was a liar, but it's you have no idea how hard it is. when you don't have any sense of a lot of things about yourself. And so, and especially when you cannot judge what you look like, it's no ground under you. It's just lost. And as I started to build that ground up, as I started to look at myself every morning without makeup on, just as I woke up and thought, I'm really pretty. You know, like, I look great. And my whatever isn't what people notice about me. Um, I mean, it's been a long, long slog. Like, I went to a conference last year to speak, and I thought, oh, in person, like, all these people who know me are just going to look and be horrified. And people were like, what? No, you are crazy. And that was kind of my final, like, oh, okay. Clearly, I'm the crazy one. Well, he was the crazy one that made me crazy. But that's how I discovered my own beauty. And I feel really beautiful. And that is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing gift to give yourself. But it's a hard one. It's really hard. And it takes a lot of work. And it takes waking up even on days when you're not feeling it and telling yourself that you feel beautiful and that you're not going to let this person take you out. And that is important for me to share with you because there's a lot of women out there like me. There's a lot of women out there who think they're just really ugly and have no sense of what they actually look like and no understanding of anything about their physical self, none. And as crazy as it sounds, it's true. And that is one of the things that emotional abuse does to a lot of women is it just takes away a huge sense of ourselves so that we don't know who we are anymore. And we barely know what we look like, and it's awful. And I wish it didn't exist, but that's why I'm talking to you, is because it does. And what I would like you to do is to, I have this friend named Steve Harper, and he has this concept called the ripple. And it's about talking to people about things that are other than work and making real connections with people. And I think that it's a really important thing to make real connections with people because then you can trust them. But if you have a friend who has a really skewed sense of who they are and what they look like, a friend who just keeps getting plastic surgery and you don't know why because they're beautiful, there's a lot of things that make us feel ugly, make women feel ugly and men as well in this world, but make sure you tell your friends that they really are beautiful. And when you have a friend who's left an abusive partner, make sure that you help them along in that journey so that they know you're there, that you're a good ally, that they can trust you when you say that, babe, you look fabulous. Those are all really important things. And so much of our self-image in this world relies on a lot of outside appearance. It'd be awesome if it didn't, but it does. And it's not even really I mean, everyone's beautiful. It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but we need to be surrounded by love and care and people who aren't telling us that we're ugly all the time. And if you're in a relationship and you are with someone and they are not telling you that you are beautiful, and if they are pointing out the things about your body that you don't like, or finding new things that they don't like, you are in an emotionally abusive relationship, probably. And you need to really rethink um, what's happening. You need to talk to a therapist, talk with them, tell them it's not okay because you are beautiful. You are all beautiful. And I get really teary, but it's true. There's beauty in all of us. And we just need to be able to see it, and nobody should try and take that away from us. So I really, really, really appreciate you watching this. I appreciate you sharing this. My website is softlandingsociety.com, and there is a membership. Please become a member. It supports me and these projects so that I can do them. And share. Feel free to share, and anything else. If you have questions, if you want to talk to me, just let me know. I'm happy to talk to anyone who is not feeling pretty today, because you are. Thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.